we're back. Apologies, it's taken me 2 weeks to get back to this. Longer than I thought it would be. I was going to talk to Gart about the doomed hostel, was I?
Can I help you?
It's the thing at the Whirling. Gart, what if I told you I got into the back room, behind the blue steel door? Oh, okay, well. He controls his excitement well. I did hear you make noise back there, so good for you. He's really holding himself back here. It takes a lot of willpower not to ask. Obviously, he's been wanting to know what's behind the door. Aren't you going to ask me what's back there? Okay, what is back there? I mean, I could lie just for fun, but I'm going to not. Pinball machines. A pinball workshop. Huh, I knew it. I've always wondered where those machines by the door came from. And they told me there was some kind of pinball thing here too. I knew it, he repeats. Were there any back there in working order, I mean? Why? Do you want to play? Because I might be up for a game. No, I was just wondering. He appears to be making a calculation in his head. If you found pinball machines there... I feel a capitalist plot coming up. Capitalist plot? He rolls his eyes. The pinball we have in the corner now is broken. I want to diversify the entertainment options. It wouldn't hurt to get a little life in here, other than the hellish karaoke machine. That one's always causing trouble. Yeah, those numbers he's adding up must be making good sense to him right now. Sounds like he cares about the place. He's not going to be overjoyed to hear that it's part of the doomed commercial area. He should still know. You have to be forewarned about these things. I have to warn you. I may have discovered that Whirling is part of the doomed commercial area. What? He looks mildly startled. Why would you say that? We're at a completely different address from that whole thing. So he knows the doomed commercial area. And its address. He's thought about this. Wait, so you know of the curse? Everyone knows of it. The Whirling is listed on the intercom outside as one of the businesses in Building B of the doomed commercial area. I've been working here for a long time, and that intercom has never been used by the Whirling. Hold on, not once. Isn't that already a sign of decline? It's a sign of the Whirling in rags not being part of the doomed commercial area. If anything, we're revitalising the neighbourhood. Relax, Mr. Gart. I'm sure there is no doom. He simply wants to share his discoveries with you. The Whirling was once the East Delta Pinball Arcade, which failed, though perhaps the Whirling will escape the curse. Does this look like part of a doomed commercial area? He makes a sweeping gesture. This pre-revolutionary tile work, these high ceilings, the nice rooms. Well, pardon me, chat. Goodness, a little brandy goes right to your head, you know. Well, most of the rooms. Oof, you wound me, Gart. For 14 years, man, that's how long I've worked here. I've kept this place up through hail and through sleet. Fuck me if some doom ghost, he steadies his voice. He's done a fine job too, though he's spoken to the place dismissively before. The hostel is actually very important to him. really care about the whirling, huh? Yeah, it's slowly growing on me again. It's beautiful in its own way, especially for this neighbourhood. I've been trying to keep it that way, even if it is part of the damn doomed commercial area. You shouldn't be so worried about that label, you know. I don't place much stock in the curse and so on, but the label frightens the clientele. Who wants to stay at a doomed hostel? Everything's doomed enough without that. Who owns this place? Some real estate management company. They never come around here, just collect money from afar. Honestly, I think some money laundering might be involved. And who named it Whirling in Rags? Well, it sure as hell wasn't the real estate company. It was you. You look surprised. What? It's a great name, I know. Cafeteria managers come up with great names too. It's from a song? Song. I've lost his voice completely. Posher. Hail, Holy Queen, by the Ateneers. Hail, Holy Queen of the Sea, he quotes. You're whirling in rags, you're vast and you're sad. Good pick. I agree with Kim. Good pick. Whatever that means. It's a made-up song, I guess. Or if it's a real song, I don't recognise it. The poem wasn't made up, so maybe it's a real song as well. Well, what are all those other cafeterias you manage? What about them? One is a basement dive frequented by chain-smoking communists. I can't tell you how sick I am of Krasmazov and Ignis Nilsson and all those old ghosts. He's hesitating, not sure if he should share this information with you. Encourage him. And the others? The other is a kebab cart. It's very successful in its way, but nothing like the whirling. Well, good luck to you with this place then. Luck has got nothing to do with it. He looks for the hidden rooms. I need to think about where I'm going to place those pinballs. I have a feeling they're going to help. Against the doom, it's implied. What was the voice for rhetoric? Remind me if you recall. Persuasive. There's a peephole in the wall. He startles. What wall? Upstairs in the secret back room, right next to Clausia's bedroom. I found it when I found the pinball machines. I'll have it fixed at once. Thank you for letting me know. I assure you the whirling does not abide spying on its guests. The colour has drained from his face. What a shame to fix as such a good peephole. Are you sure you haven't been spying on your guests? Absolutely not. He breathes in and out. Fuck you for even implying it. It wasn't me, it wasn't my staff. The establishment will look at it and ascertain what it was. Sir, he was only asking a question. It's his job, and mine. See that it's covered. Yes, I absolutely will. He calms his breathing. Sorry, it's been a bit of a day, and now a hole in the wall. Alright, you've been notified. Thank you, I'll patch it up personally. Was there something else about the establishment? I hope not. I don't want to get Clausia thrown out, so... Toodles. Better have a substance to abuse for this conversation. And I'm probably going to need authority if I can get it. Didn't I have a... That's one, empathy and hand-eye coordination. That's an interesting one. I guess I don't really have any particularly good. I could swap back to the null pants. Don't know if I'm going to need savoir-faire. It's a good look. Let's go with it.
It's you again. What is it?
What is it? Okay, I talked to Claudia. Now I need to talk to Ruby. Why? He leans back and regards you with curiosity. It hasn't given me any clues. I don't want to go with 2. Showing that I have sympathy for the dead guy is not going to go over well with these guys. I'm not convinced about 1. I don't think he likes his authority being questioned. 3 would be funny. He's not going to get 4. He's not going to like that either. 5 is a more neutral version of 4. It's better. 7, I mean, they're all involved in the drug running, aren't they? But it does deflect away from the I'm going to pin this murder on her thing. This is a really interesting one. Let's go with 7. This is a suspect in another case I'm investigating. Drug smuggling. Sounds like you want to push this steaming pile of shit on anyone, and now you've picked Ruby. Well, not on my watch you won't. Well, I guess it didn't matter what I said. Ruby's one of us. We're not going to throw her under your moral engine steamroller. Fuck that shit. Yeah, fuck you too, moral fan. Oof. Glad we all decided to start using simp instead of that. Although, good use of the 4chan lingo. He throws a glance at Titus, the last syllable leaves his lips. The big guy sighs. Ruby is missing. If you hide from the police in a murder investigation, you become a suspect. You know how it works, guys. That's nothing. That's just legalese. You don't even have a sound theory. He crosses his arms. I don't want to be rude, but we're trying to get some R&R here. Think you could fuck off now? I think we'll keep sticking around, Titus. You'll be surprised at how quickly a theory presents itself if you keep looking. I mean... %, still isn't great. Let me have a look through my pile of clothes again, just in case there was any logic stuff that I missed. I guess the logic glasses wouldn't hurt. Conceptualization, not quite. Samurai and conical hat. Super logical for a cop to wear this.
It's you again. What is it?
Can't argue with 83%. Apparently you can't. A sudden flash of lightning in your neocortex. The hostel cafeteria is lit by its eerie blaze. Floor plans, bullet trajectories, webs of human emotion all channeled into a single thought. A massive activity spike in the amygdala cophagum, the part cops use to pin murders on people. Why are you so sure Ruby didn't off him? Because she was here all night with us. He's cobbling together shit so we can put her away. It's Cop 101. She was here all night? Lieutenant ignores the tattooed man. 11:30 to 12:25. She was here during all that time. Yeah, with us, drinking. Near the stage there. He points to the karaoke stage. She didn't go out for fresh air? For one smoke? No. In the whole 45-minute window, she was with you all the time. Alright, she took a fucking leak, okay, for one moment. Maybe went out too. She has an operation to run from a lorry. Points to the intersection. We're not getting into what that operation is again, cop. That's probably for the best. Don't break your stride now. And just because she was gone for 5 minutes doesn't mean she magically got to the roof and shot him. He taps on his temple. I've been through this. It's not plausible. Alright, we're in. We got Ruby unaccounted for sometime during the window. This was crucial. Now let's place her on that roof. You got his attention. Now don't ruin it by making weird claims. Remember, you can still mess this up. Don't ruin this by making weird claims. But I could stay a sealed Sambo artist could climb the outer wall like a spider. There is a secret route in the kitchen that leads straight to the roof. How? He looks sincerely curious. Through what looks like an abandoned pinball workshop. People say there was a pinball arcade here, sometime before the hostel. What was it called, Theo? East Delta Pinball Arcade. The old man coughs. Weird place. Went bankrupt. I like that Theo is just monochrome. He's so old that all of the colour has deserted him. Weird how? You're wearing the pinball maker's coat. What do you mean weird, Theo? Was run by a fella called, he thinks, Knifelock something, who wore a yellow dust coat, like the one you have on right now. He squints at you. Weird guy. Never liked him. Wearing the coat was worth it just for that. It is a very comfortable coat for such an oldie. Okay, but... No, looks around. How'd you get up? There's no room for a staircase in this building. Or an elevator for that matter. The elevator is outside the building. It's an old dumbwaiter, used for moving pinball machines up and down from the workshop. From there, the door leads straight to the roof. You can just step outside. I could have gone with the good one, Kim, but I felt like it would... Like, being too buddy-buddy kind of makes us seem more vulnerable to them. I don't know. It doesn't actually matter. Ruby could have gone up, shot him, come down, all under 7 minutes. That's quite the theory. We need to have a look at that secret passage, boys. I'm on it, boss. Right when the law clears. Me and Angus going up there. It's a dumb way and not an industrial lift. How about I go instead of... Shush now. You got something else to back this route up, or is that it? Have we firmly established Ruby could have had access to the roof where the man was shot? Firmly? He shakes his head. Firmly doesn't go well with could have. Let's route to the roof. Me and the boys need to check it out. That's what we've established. But a root, he forms a gun in his hand, does not put that bullet in his head. A gun does that. Ruby doesn't carry one. Phase 2. Murder weapon. Get a gun in her hand. If not that, then at least a shadow of a doubt in the shape of a gun. I'm pretty sure 2 is stupid, because that is breaking the order of reality, and we've already met the woman and got the gun back. And their boss told them that. I already established Ruby's running jugs. She could have smuggled guns too. God damn it, that's just about your favourite topic, isn't it? Titus taps his thigh every fucking 5 seconds. You were warned not to bring it up. Your best shot here is to just back out of it. All I'm saying is, from what I saw in a cabin, I had no trouble getting up. Trouble? This is Revachol. Even the roid heads in the gym had a carbine. No one has trouble getting a gun. I still never saw her carry one. He must be referencing some past case of theirs. He's angry because he knows you're right. What he's saying only confirms your theory. That can't make any sense. Alright, cop. Keep talking, I'll tell you when I've had enough. Gee, we're not seriously considering it, are we? He must stop from his seat. Ruby wouldn't do this. Why would you do something like this? Phase 3. Motive. The last component. The big one. Get this and they'll give her to you. Remember, don't piss him off. That never works. That's Suggestion's voice. Get this and they'll give her to you. Now you might say that's too much like my normal voice, and that's because I'm the kind of person who gives unwanted advice. It's not why did she kill him, it's why did she organize the cover-up? And I suppose you have a theory of that? She could have just been covering up for herself, Titus. Think about it. Why go through all that effort? It was her idea, wasn't it? The hanging. You went along, but she suggested it. The little man squints, eyes beady. She had like a fully formed plan and shit, right when she came back downstairs. Really, Shanks? Classy wanted to talk to another girl, that's all. She was just the first one up there. I could have come up with that plan if I'd been first. Time for a logics demonstration. My brain is not, like, connecting the dots here. Eugene, let's assume you kill him. He scoffs. Think, you kill him. Get up there, shoot him, get down. Would you prefer to go on trial with your friends as part of a lynch mob, or alone for committing murder? The man is silent. If she used us to cover her own shit up, well, that's a serious violation of the Hardy Code, boss. Which is why she didn't. She would never do that. The blonde man waves his beer around. Why aren't more of you defending her? This is fucking stupid, Titus. Glenn, Titus looked at him. I thought the same thing when she skipped town and left us in this shit. Oh, so he didn't rule her out completely, and she skipped town. This is good. 2 and 3 here do not seem like good options. But what the hell, I want to find out what's behind them. Maybe it's all part of a leadership challenge against you, Titus. There is no fucking leadership challenge. Flash of rage, he calms himself. Just when I thought you were taking this seriously, Cop, you put your head in your ass. Nah, now it's just throwing this shit against the wall to see what sticks. Okay, we ruled out infighting. That's how this works, by exclusion. Remember, all we need to do is rule out Ruby out too. That's all this is. You have to see. Things don't add up. We need to talk to her. The old man in the corner nods. A very small nod, and a trickle of tobacco spit on his lip. Yeah, I see it. He puts the spit down. There's one more thing I've been wondering about. Ever since you asked me where she is. Add it to your list of suspicions if you want. I don't know. He smells a peculiar smell. I don't know where she went. She just up and left. Got real scared too. Wouldn't tell me where, however hard I asked. Want to know why? Why? She was afraid I would tell you. Straight out. Maybe she was right. By now I probably would. She knew there's evidence on her, and she knew we'd find it. This is typical suspect behavior. Why fleeing is always incriminatory. Perhaps. He looks out of the window again. Ask her if you find her. It won't be easy though. She made sure of that. This game's so long. When did she leave? Friday afternoon, when you first arrived. I got word the ICM was in town, then she came in to see me. Told me she was leaving. That's when we had our little conversation. What was she scared of? I told you. You. Me personally. Yes, you, the cop with the sideburns and the disco clothes. And a hole in his heart. At first. Don't forget the funny tie too. How can I forget? You and I are going to dance in the moonlight under a billion stars. Necktie. Why are you like this? You know, when I first saw you limping here, I thought you was paranoid or sniffing your own supply, but now I'm not so sure. What else did Ruby tell you about me? She said you have a funny taste in clothes, and that you won't stop. Won't stop until you have something on her. She said she's heard of you from Jamrock, that you're a human can opener. You play suspects against each other. Open them up, like cans. Fucking hell. The tattooed man shakes his head. Titus, did he just open Angus up like a can? Yeah, he did. Now, we can whine about it, whack him, or we can go on with our lives. I'm having a go on with our lives kind of day, you know? How about you? Angus is still there, right? It's this one. They didn't kill him. Is that true, Kim? My can opener. You are insistent. Anything else? Anything? Yeah, there was something else. She wouldn't tell me, though. I could see she wanted to. It was burning on her lips. This cop, Titus, this cop, he... But she was too scared. Scared? You should be, too. A strange fear creeps over you, a metallic taste in your mouth. Change the subject. Do you have any clues on where Ruby went? She's not far. We know that much. She didn't take a lorry. So she's on foot. Good fucking luck, man. She knows this place like the back of her hand. You'll never find her. Al's voice is all over the place. I'm very sorry. Yeah, Al, he gives her a sharp look. And we won't either. She's not really your... Glenn stares into his beer. Hardy candidate anymore, is she? She's not, Glenn. Have you looked for her? A little, on the coast. Where have you looked for her more precisely? More precisely, on the coast, past the waterlock. He nods southwest. She's not here, so I'm thinking she's there. You tell me where on the coast I should start looking? Sure, there are some shithouses there, Cinderblock Town. The fisherfolk there refuse to unionize, so that's one place we haven't looked. I hear they have a shack where junkies sometimes crash. Time for you to step up. We will start there. Lieutenant takes a quick note. One more question. What does Ruby look like? Boyish, hair's red, dyed. She looks like a lorryman. Do you know what she's doing with Ulan frequencies? The what now? I have no idea. He looks around. Boys? She said she's building a pale emitter. What? We were talking about radio equipment. She said she's doing Ulan frequencies in a pale something. I don't know more. This guy barely understands what he's talking about. There you have it. Pale something. Titus puts an end to it. It feels like you'll get to know soon enough. It's not much, but it'll do. It'll have to. He puts his hand out. Shake it. His grip is firm and reassuring, like holding a piece of unpolished granite. Not just granite, tightly packed RCM sergeant material. You should be a cop, Titus. When are you going to get it through your dumb head? I already am, I just wasn't sure you were. And he still isn't. People aren't afraid of good cops in the way Ruby was afraid of you, he thinks, then turns back to his men. Okay, I can take off my excellent logic hat now. Oh, that's no good at all. God, I look so serious. Deploy the hobo beanie. No, that's not deploy the hobo beanie. Serious it is, then. Okay. NPC with a good question. How can a bar be out of vermouth? Wait, why is it called vermouth? Surely that place doesn't exist. In the game's world, I mean. Is it just translated? Never did find a way to wash, what's his name's jacket. Not entirely convinced I want to. Well, I suppose I haven't tried one of the more obvious ones, which is washing it in the basin in this room. Or I could ask her, she washes things.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night.
I
What
hope
can I
the
help
waves don't keep you up at night. Have you seen a red-haired woman named Ruby around the coast? Nay, I haven't seen anyone lately. Okay, but you know who I'm talking about. This is my little Cinderblock town. She nods with a wrinkled smile. I know what goes on around here. She's being evasive. She knows something. There was a murder in Martinez, he points east. She might be a suspect. We would appreciate your help. What do you know? She turns to him. I know how this world works, and it doesn't work when people tell on each other. This is like when that man locked himself in the woodshed. We just need to help her Out. No, it's not like that, man. With him, we called you. Right now, you just arrived by yourself. Like a raven, plucking at the window glass. Enough of this! She better start talking right now! Okay, but we'll look back later if we find anything suspicious. I'm not going anywhere. Perhaps there's something else the village can do for you, huh? Though we don't have much here. Just garbage. And a skiff or two. I found this jacket, but it's filthy. Can you wash it for me? I can wash it for you, she says after looking the jacket over, but it's going to take about half an hour. Think you can stay put for that long? Volition. Hell yeah. Physical instrument. Nah, we must run around here ceaselessly. It would be torture to stay put. Oh my god, my Scottish voice is not in shape. It would be torture to stay put. I could use a breather. It's been another track and field day, the lieutenant says, rubbing his thigh. Yeah, I'll wait. Well, hand it over then, and I'll see what I can do. Must say I'm proud of this one, she nods, handing the jacket back to you. It's pretty nice underneath all that filth. I hope you take better care of it than its last owner. Ah, damn, that's pretty good. Pain threshold, half light, and minus drama. Continuing the thing where Falm is for, like, fighty shit. The washwoman is hiding something. Oh, is that what the look under the floorboards thing was about? And is that indeed why I wasn't able to look under the floorboards? Oh, I guess Idiot, Doomspire and Co aren't around at the moment. No, they were over here, right? Yeah, there they are. Let's give the guy his tracksuit back.
Tequila sunset.
Tequila sunset. Okay, here's a jacket. Fresh washed. My jacket? Yeah, the one you have me clean the seagull shit off of. A look of consternation crosses the man's face. He looks at you, then at his bottle, then back at you. What the fuck are you talking about, Tequila? So you're saying this isn't your jacket? Foul? That's medium concept stuff, not my style at all. I can't believe I'm saying this, but maybe you should lay off the booze. It's fucking with your head, Tequila. It becomes abundantly clear to you how this man managed to lose his keys, business, friends, and girlfriend. That wasn't Kim, that was logic. It was a very Kim thing to say. I'm calling it, it's neurological. I mean, I didn't really go through any dark shit at all, did I? I just carried around an unpleasant jacket for a while. Oh well. I'm keeping it. That shit is so medium concept I wouldn't touch it with a stick. But yeah, okay, I'm sure it looks great on you. It's an okay jacket, Lieutenant shrugs, if you're into that look. Have you ever seen a redhead woman named Ruby around here lately? Can't really remember seeing any women after losing my keys. It's a touchy topic. He hasn't got a maid in ages. Okay, let's step aside for a second. I have something I want to talk about. We'll talk in here. Hang on. breaking things is very important to me. What were you saying, Kim?
Yes.
Oh, will we be too far away?
Yes.
Did I just miss a conversation opportunity?
Tequila sunset.
Just go through that and then...
I've been meaning to have a little chat with you about your sense of style.
My style? What about it? I'm glad you finally started dressing a little more like an officer of the Elysium. Keep it up. Your half-brother is proud to stand beside you. Like this? I feel like it's really cramping my style. You're an officer of the Elysium, not some bon vivant. You know the expression, the clothes make the man. The right outfit in the right situation can make all the difference in the world. Explaining the game mechanics. Okay, you're a sharp-dressed man. We could be style buddies. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, detective. A warm smile. Oh, cute. Anyway, we should probably go back to the case. Let's go. Should I just disappoint Kim by dressing in the most ludicrous way possible? Definitely that. The rubber gloves or the half gloves? The half gloves, maybe. Maybe this. No, this honestly, this almost works. Damn it, I forgot what bonuses I was going for, like, in general. Perception's a good one to have on most of the time. I like empathy. Big favourite. Nice to talk to. Not evil. I guess I can use these, balance out the perception, and get a bunch of encyclopedia, though. Meh. I don't like being at -1 suggestion. Is there a balancing? I guess I can use the navy coat. Yeah. A sort of boring set of stats, but that nevertheless balances out some of my drawbacks. Like the plus half-light balances with the minus. I mean... Oh ho, Kim is entering alongside me at this point. Yeah, now I can lift the floorboards. It's kind of cheeky, to be honest. As you look, the floorboards in this corner of the floorboards in this corner of the shack, it's clear one of them isn't quite level with the others. Move the board aside. The hollow space underneath the floorboards is dark and damp. You can barely make out the mixture of sand and sawdust below. What's in here? Nothing particular catches your eye. Looks like more reeds. Might be something hidden inside the sand, though. Something bad. Someone's night thoughts. A last resort. A bad idea. Search through the sand and sawdust. You stick your hand and start combing through the sand. Dry, not like outside. Find dust, and then something hard wrapped in paper. What is it? Small cylindrical object. Pull it out. A bullet. A 9mm bullet, to be exact, fit for all muzzle loaders of that caliber, like your own Villiers pistol, for example. A bullet, interesting. The floorboard doesn't care. Maybe the washerwoman does? You have enough to confront her with. Holding the bullet, you get the feeling this isn't ammunition against you. It's for herself. Guess I need to start saving up my pennies for staying at the whirling again. Or I could leave this until the next day, but we are on a time limit here. I could ask around some more before confronting her. Right? I could go and talk to the lady over there. I could go and talk to the kids on the ice. They had a radio thing going on. But
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
why was there a bullet under the floorboards of your shack? God damn that girl, she murmurs softly. And without anger, a long and harsh life has taught her not to buckle under pressure. A bullet? The lieutenant turns to you and gives you a little nod. Then turns to the washman. You didn't put it there, did you? She did. Gone and hid things in there, she shakes her head. She's usually a good tenant, and not a stupid one either. You enter the room to her. The old woman sits in silence, her hands moving into the water bucket. Some water sloshes over the edge. Slowly she speaks, wringing out a rag. Yes, I let my room to that Ruby girl, as I've done before when she's been in trouble, or just looking for solitude. I've made it clear, we welcome all kinds of people here. When was this? She came last Friday, left on Monday in a hurry. Her wrinkled hand kneads a blue rag in the water. What has she gotten herself into, that girl? She seems genuinely worried about her previous tenant. She's seen her hiding out from trouble before, but this seems different. That's for the police to find out. The lieutenant takes out his familiar blue notebook. Right then, please answer each question to the best of your ability. I'm sure we have a few. You said she left on Monday. Yes, early with the dogs, around 8 o'clock, I think. Is there exactly as she left it? I cleaned it like I always do. Is there anything else there? No. What's she like, Ruby? She's good company. Knows how to talk to an old woman. She rubs her cold hands together. At my age, you don't get a lot of quality conversation, so I really appreciate that about her. Did she talk to you much during her last stay? No, she was mostly silent this time, kept to herself. What do you mean? She tried not to let it show, but I could tell she hadn't come to fish. Usually she likes to cast a few lines, but this time she mostly stayed in her room. Why do you think she left the bullet there? How would I know? She's a gruff one, but not violent. She doesn't go around toting a gun. She looks back toward her shack, thinking. You could ask her about your hunch, that it was a desperate measure. See if she thinks Ruby fits the bill. I have a possible explanation in mind. I do tell. A seagull flies overhead, obviously a bad omen. One thing that I'd rather not say, something I want to think about. That bad, is it? Did she have any technical equipment with her, like radio stuff? Not that I know of, though she was into nice music. She once showed me a few mixtape milieux she's made. She brushes her forehead with the back of her hand. Water drips to the ground. Although I guess she was pretty handy with the mechanical and technical stuff. Even fixed the heater in the shack. You should be thankful for that. Where did she go? I don't know. Further up the coast. She tried to leave quietly, but the hinges on that door screeched like a cat in heat. Woke me up. I heard her rushing in those heavy boots, heading up north. She says, "You'll never find her, you know. She knows the coast like the back of her hand. You only just arrived." "I wouldn't worry about that, ma'am. We're persistent." Further up the coast we go, then. "Are you sure you wouldn't rather stay here, get a nice cozy fire going in the heater?" She drops the rag into the bucket. It's clean now. "Seems like a better idea to me." The felled electric mural. You feel like you should go look at it again. Step closer this time. Where was the felled electric mural? I'm off. One thing, officer, if you do find her, please go easy on her. She looks around. The air is getting colder. It is as well, for once. The game said a thing and it actually happened. She really means it. It's an honest plea. She's a good girl, whatever she's gotten herself mixed up in. Really? I mean, she's been doing a bunch of drug running, and I guess that's not evil per se, and she's like involved with the turbo mafia or whatever's going on there. Felled electric, where was that? Explore the coast. Ah, well, that will help a lot. Abandoned lorry. I mean, sure, I'll go and look at it. And didn't I already break into the various lorries using other means? Namely, I got Kim to do it. Maybe it's worth having another look at anyway, though. Felled electric. Oh, pardon me. God, the world's so big. Kim complains about going too fast, but none of this is fast enough. Okay, nothing new to look at. Think about. I haven't talked to this guy since working out that he's one of the militia guys, but I always knew he was agitator. Yeah, I don't remember a felled electric mural. Or there's so many details in this game that I don't remember where that one in particular is. I'm just going to carry on along the coast as I was doing before getting distracted by that message. Oh, there it is. Did I look at it already? I don't think I've been over here, actually. There's a lot of coast over here.
Mikhail, notice the windows, especially with how there are no windows on the south side. This was to deal with.
A blond man stands next to his son, pointing to the weather-worn ruins. He sees you approaching and smiles. Trent Heidelstam. Mikhail, notice the windows. I'm going to give him a German accent, but it's not quite accurate.
You, officers, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinez. I'm Trent Heidelstam. You must be Kim Kitsuragi, right? I was just telling my son about this building. Not a lot of people realize the historic significance here. Very rich in hypertext.
Oh, lordy.
Nice to meet you.
Hold on. Hypertext?
Yes, hypertext. Yankarp and the collection of cultural hyperlinks.
He's just making up fancy words. This doesn't mean anything. Wait, what was that about the windows
yes.
before?
So, Mikhail, they had to deal with monitor glare, especially in the summer. They still had vector monitors back then. That was 49 years ago, so they didn't have windows on the south wall.
You and Kim know each other?
I can't say that we've met before, but I've heard of Kim, of course. Mikhail, say hi to the officers.
He rests his hand on the boy's shoulder. The child stays hidden behind the hem of his father's coat, clutching to his Verne-themed colouring book.
Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Ground. Quite tricky, but he wanted to play this Ground-made adventure program. We've been getting really into worms lately. But I assume you're not here for giant worms, when there are so many real things to see. Just as I was telling Mikhail before, this is where the Coalition landed in '08. We could be standing on what is the most interesting landmark in Revachol West.
This man is your half-brother. You feel it. But why? He's a spook. He's a bad actor. I'm looking for a suspect. Have you seen anyone suspicious around? No, I'm afraid I can't help you with this one, officer. It's just a regular day off for me and Mikhail here. He pats his son's head. So you haven't seen anyone around? No, I'm sorry. As I said, this is just a day off. We just arrived anyway. There's something friendly and familiar in how he says that. A day off. What's so fascinating about an empty old building? Aha, but it's not just any empty old building. He raises his hand to his eyes to shield himself from the freezing snow. All four of you turn to admire the mural before you. What not a lot of people know is, this used to be the R&D department of Feld Electrical. And Feld, which now sells ink cartridges mostly, was once a top dog in the turn-of-the-century cybernetics boom. Hold on, what's R&D? Thanks, Encyclopedia. Look at the building looming over you. It looks old and weathered, with seagulls picking apart its stone and metal carcass. Bushy undergrowth has taken hold of the collapsed rooftop. Some kind of bird has set up a nest on the broken windowsill. Wait, what's an R&D department? Apologies, it's an acronym for Research and Development. They don't use it anymore. He smiles brightly, laugh lines around his eyes. You're probably more familiar with RTD, Research and Technological Development. Mea culpa. You were not familiar with that one either. This man is a bookhead. Have you ever heard of this Feld Electrical? That's not surprising. Only a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape manufacturer remains. He adjusts his suit jacket. They started out as a midway electronics outfit in Königstein 2 centuries ago. After an aggressive move to Revachol, Feld became a global player in the emerging personal electronics market of the pre-revolutionary era. Still, Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. He gestures towards the building. But Feld had an ace up their sleeve. Or should I say, they were developing an ace up their sleeve. I'm mixing my metaphors here. What was that ace? It was here in Martinez, possibly in this very building, that they developed prototypes for a tape computer. A tape computer? An elegant folding mechanism of rollers and ferrotape ribbons, portable enough to be a take-it-home solution, revolutionizing business machines. possibly even bringing them to the average Just reading this is making me tired, let alone saying it aloud. Which is a feat of engineering even today's giants Ream, ICN, and ZAM haven't achieved yet. He grins, admiring the sentence he just produced. He assumes something like a combat stance, facing the wind. What happened? Indeed, what? The revolution? The boy wipes his nose on his sleeve. He nods. Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to market. Fell's move to Revachol backfired. The revolutionary government liquefied their assets and expropriated those very advanced prototypes, possibly from this very building, or one of the adjacent ruins. He pauses, pointing to the other building, then continues. All of this was built by Feld, even the boardwalk. Wild Pines built Martinez proper as a resort for their middle management. Feld built this side of town for R&D. You're saying that Feld Electrical built this boardwalk? Yes, they even built a pleasure wheel, but that got destroyed in the war. A pleasure wheel? The lieutenant looks wistfully at the horizon, as if picturing gondolas rising to the sky. Perhaps reminded of a childhood memory. It's clear he would prefer there were a big wheel lighting up the coast. Oh my god. He's so verbose. He won't shut up. Yes, to lure in their star engineers. This part of Martinez was nothing but reeds before Feld arrived. They had to make their prospects of living here attractive. It was supposed to become a global center for innovation in cybernetics, but history had other plans. What happened to the engineers, the company people? Oh, I'm afraid it didn't end well for the boys. He smiles again, as if he's somehow personally responsible for this bleak turn of events. But this story is a bit too dark for little Mikhail here. Now, if you were to ask about tape computers, what did the revolutionaries do with those advanced tape computers? They used them for military communications, he says, while his son looks up, idly chewing on his corner of his worm-themed colouring book. But also to write and send out press releases, the most notorious example being Les Décrets de Mars. What was that? What's the March Decree? I mean, the radio transmission sent out to news agencies and world governments by the newly created Commune of Revachol on the 7th of March in the year 02. It's a beautiful piece of text, actually. A singer-songwriter I know, Charette, called it a love poem to Revachol on her political concept album Bon Baisers d'Insulinde. You should read it. Every local library in Revachol stocks a copy of the decree. I tried to get Mikhail to memorize it. He looks at his son, who starts giggling, his face hidden behind the book. Tried to. Someone was much too interested in worms to be paying any attention. The kid takes a peek at the green and silver worm on the cover of the book, already forgetting about this part of the discussion. How do those tape computers work? Do they work like radio computers? Actually, no one knows. No one even knows what a computer made entirely of tape would look like, but word has it they were very elegant, exquisite, alien-looking turn-of-the-century hardware. He raises his finger, remembering something. 10 years ago I did a little freelancing, I guess you could say. I was a special consultant for an exhibition at the Wompty Dumpty Dom Centre in Vredefort, Oranje. It raised the same questions, and we had lengthy discussions with Paul Ockerman, who was head curator at the time. This was before the twins, Keith and Guy Hughes, joined the team, trying to... Wait, did he just say Wompty Dumpty Dom Centre? He did. He said Wompty Dumpty Dom Centre like it's the most natural thing in the world. What the hell is a Wompty Dumpty Dom Centre? And who the hell are Keith and Guy Hughes? Okay, the Wompty Dumpty Doms? The Wompty Dumpty Dom Centre for Contemporary Arts. There it is again, those words. The exhibition itself drew on Lagerman's notion of memory, and so there were some parallels. That's why the head curator Paul Ockerman chose to... Come on, there is no place called the Wompty Dumpty Dom Centre of Arts. Actually, I think there is... No, it's too much, he's joking. In fact, I'm not. The Wumpty Dumpty Dom Centre, he says casually, is a place you can visit if you're ever in Redifort and are ever in the market for an exhibition space contemporary art research centre. He clears his throat. But perhaps I should return to the tape computers. As I was saying, the device itself was very fragile. Elegant even. One could write directly on the tape using a special chemical solution. The machine would then analyse the handwriting, perform operations and project output onto a white screen. It was a beautiful, delicate thing. Made of black film and folding tape structures. See, I should get some of those. Even one would be very useful, he agrees. Though I understand the socio-economic causes of the revolution, it pains me to imagine the revolutionaries setting fire to this precious device. But so they did. The failed playback experiment vanished into the fires of '07. The failed playback experiment? Yes, the official name of the prototype. Some sources report it as the failed playback experience, but those are incorrect. Why did the revolutionaries destroy it? Who knows? Maybe it was an accident, or maybe they didn't want the technology to end up in the wrong hands. Either way, they're all gone now, all 3 versions of the prototype. Nothing but debris and ashes remain inside that building. He takes a step back. The boardwalk creaks mournfully in the wind. I wanted to ask something else. I don't actually want to ask anything else. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. So I want to take a moment to consider about this game's conception of computers, because the 2 kinds of computer that have been brought up in this game, radio computers and tape computers, both have weird I/O methods involving radios or handwriting on tape and so forth. But they're being presented as if they're fundamentally different, as if they're doing computation in a different way, but they're not. I wonder if the game developers must know how computers work, so it must be a deliberate point, yeah? Computers in this universe are a weird black box that does all of the actual computation plus some cool aesthetic shit that you don't need to worry too much about. I'm going to talk to the mural. You see a once bright mural towering above you. The signage is peeled off over the years, but you can still make out Feld Electrical R&D. A slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago. Now only a shadow of peeled letters remains. It says, tomorrow is just a whisper away. Step closer. Above the mural, a collapsed roof, broken windows set in walls that are cracking and will soon also fall, and the coastal breeze rustling and sighing in the remains of the edifice. There's something in the wind. Sometimes the only way to go forward is to fail first. Why do I feel like I know this place? Indeed, somehow you knew it was here. An urban ruin gutted by looters that once used to consume money and dispense warmth and light. You felt it before, when it rained in Mardenais and you felt the cold of the rain. The feeling persists. It's been in you ever since. Could Ruby be in there? In there, she could, or... Lieutenant points behind you. She could be in the identical ruin over there, or in that boat shack, in the church tower maybe. Death notification. I don't know what that means. Okay, so I was given a new Humpty Dumpty Dom sensor. It's Wednesday evening and something heinously exciting is underway. People have gathered beneath the billowing roof of an oddly shaped trophy building, sipping wine and exchanging opinions. 29-year-old Wunder twins Guy and Keith Eustace are the stars of the show with their bomber jackets and white sneakers, head curators of the art exhibition. It's the Wumpty Dumpty Dommiest event of the year and all the cool kids have RSVP'd. Where are you if you're not there? Okay, clearly there's like a way to go full art, but I think you'd need to be on the... Looking for Ruby brought you to a mural that you somehow think is important. Inspect it thoroughly. Oh well, when you put it like that. Okay, I have a whole bunch of stuff that boosts shivers. Classic, classic. Perhaps I do not have as many shiver boosting items as I thought. I guess they're all jackets, which kind of, you know, doesn't necessarily work so well. I guess I could get drunk. It's always a good way to, communicate with the world. You've got one bullet. I feel like I had a second item, or second clothing thing that was +1 shivers. Oh, was that the hat I gave away? It might have been. Oh no, there it is, scented scarf. Oof, ouch, owie, my physical instrument. Even odds. Let's listen to the wind. Oof. A standard roll. Suddenly all is quiet. There is no cold hand brushing against your forehead, no rustling the reeds. The wind has died down, or gone behind a corner. You only hear distant waves washing the coast. The ruin in front of you is as silent as a tomb. What's I even attempting to do here? Trying to talk to the wind? The city? Whatever you thought would happen did not. Now you're just standing there with your hands fallen to your side. A prayer of sorts. To Revachol. She could be anywhere. How do we find her? How do we? I was really hoping she'd be in the village. John sighs and gets a hold of himself. Okay. She's probably north of the village and this place is a peninsula. I think there's people west of here. We could ask them. He looks to his right and cups his ear. Indeed. You can hear what sounds like two men arguing where the lieutenant is pointing. And then there's the church. If I were a murder suspect, I would not hide in the most prominent building here, but who knows? Maybe she's reckless. Or spiritual? She could be looking for refuge. Anyway, we do it the old-fashioned way, sector by sector. Go over the whole peninsula, ask the locals, enter places where we can enter first, like we did in the village. And if that fails, then, if we're desperate, we can look where we can't enter. Bunkers, storm drainage, this place. I'm sure it won't come to that. He looks behind him at the dark red box crumbling across the chasm. Walk the coast, the old boardwalk, the reeds. You can always come back here and talk to the wind again. Look where it already got you. I mean, it got me a skill point. Is it worth putting a point in shivers? Yeah, I've always been a big fan of shivers and its cool little vignettes. Although I do wish I still had my hat that I think had plus shivers on it. If this fails, we'll just go look elsewhere. Never mind. Same roll. Succeeded. Exactly. To the point. Suddenly there's a sigh, carried on the molecules around you, moving, flowing from high pressure to low pressure, like that of a woman emptying her lungs. She wraps the collapsing stone box in front of you in her breath, flowing through it. Where does it go? In through the collapsed roof, flowing down a concrete staircase to the basement, sweeping away footprints in the dust on the stairs. And then the beach below the boardwalk, its winding tunnels, a whisper away. What's happening? She's down there. I think she's down there, below this building. Okay, why? The wind told me. He shrugs. So, how do we get in there? The doors were on the collapsed side of the building. They're gone, basically. Savoir-faire, oh no. Finally, my time to shine. There's a ladder next to the sign. Perhaps we can climb it, enter through the roof. Perhaps you can climb them. We're not climbing anything. I'm 43 years old and I plan to live to see 70. There has to be a way to use brute force. Climbing sounds unsafe. Brute force is safe. Look around and find something to break if the ladder fails. Well, I found something to break, and I found a ladder, but my savoir-faire is actual fucking garbage. 3. Oof. And that's after I put a point in it earlier to unlock something. Physical instrument's pretty good though if I dress for it. Now, obviously another point would be I'm not looking at things, I'm not going to places. I seem to be in some sort of hurry. Drainage pipe. An old pipe peeks out beneath the rotting boards of the boardwalk. Could this be an alternative path into the Feld building? Come closer and look in. Your eyes slowly begin to adjust to the darkness inside the drainage pipe. The lieutenant looks over your shoulder. What's in there? An ordinary drainage pipe. Darkness. Okay, what else? As your eyes adjust, you see some trash. Crumpled up newspapers, cigarette butts. Someone has half-heartedly spray-painted skulls on the right side. And nothing. Broken glass from bottles, a syringe. Could we get into Feld building to his pipe? Given that this isn't a martial arts thriller, a green flickers across his face, it's highly unlikely, and not without risk to our health either. However, the pipe suggests there may be an entrance to the basement around. The lieutenant pushes aside the reeds and looks around. Oh, duh, why didn't you think of that? And it's right here, a maintenance door. He points to a rusted metal door, double door, obscured by the reeds. Okay. Equip that. Take myself out for a fight. Pain threshold and half-light are not quite it. Didn't I have a fighting jacket? I guess not. I can get my half-light boosted quite a lot, but Fizz instrument is a bit trickier. Interesting when you think about it. I'll take a 72%. Nice. The metal doors are heavy and the flaking rust hurts your palms, but together with the lieutenant, you manage to slide them open just enough to squeeze in. Good work, Lieutenant nods towards the impenetrable darkness inside. Shall we? Let's go in. I'm glad I didn't waste time trying to climb the suicide ladder. This doesn't seem very impenetrably dark, but maybe I'm being given a grace period. Also, the jacket is it's not doing it for me. Damn, I've made my cop quite a character. put the frog hat back on, I at least end up with plus perception. Down +2 Inland Empire. 9 total. If only there were any use for that. Beyond, I mean... These are the parts of the game that I kind of like best, exploring the dusty ruins, like the abandoned commercial area. This overturned table is covered in orange mildew, crawling with something. Antiquated office furniture, last century maybe? Brought down and forgotten, so long ago. This collapse nearly sealed the basement. One can barely squeeze by. We'll go have a look there in a minute. In the beam of the flashlight, a crevice in the wall. Stale fabric smell and dust. No one stepped here in months, maybe years. These pots and plates full of dust and spiderwebs. Revolutionary propaganda on the bunk bed, ancient flyers and brochures. The same slit window you saw from outside. Revolutionary's hat, +1 to Metzovian socioeconomics. Another useless stat, but obviously I am 100% equipping this. Ushanka with the Metzovian logo, a pair of deer antlers on its silvery white front. Your ears feel cuddled and cared for by the state. Yes, yes. Is Kingdom of Conscience thing on here as well? Some kind of superstar crossed out. Is that just one that I've removed? Are they gone forever after you remove them? That's not what I understood. Yeah, Kingdom of Conscience. What does it mean to have +1 to a thought? Does it improve the results? Or does it just make them faster to think about? Not that it matters how long it takes to think about. This hat is so soft, so warm. It wraps around your head and your mind tingles with all manner of economic theory. This is an Ushanka, right? Krasmazov would have worn this Ushanka. Mazov knew where to cook those thoughts, and that's why it's bearing its Mazovian logo. Glory to the revolution, comrade. Whether you like it or not, wearing this hat has made you more communist. Excellent. Excellent. There's something in the air, an unnatural buzzing. This tunnel collapsed. I'd find another way around. It's like a whole maze. To mess with you. It's getting louder, the buzzing sound. Oh, hang on 1 second. I'm being called out. I will be back soon, or next week. Until then, good luck and have fun.